You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders because we're starting to get a much better idea as to why it is Mark Davis did not hire Ed Dodds or Champ Kelly. Now, word has it, Mark wants Champ Kelly to stay with the Raiders as an assistant general manager. Who knows whether or not he will decide to do that. But we also know that Mark Davis did not want to have a rookie head coach and a rookie general manager. All right? That came to light. He thought he made a mistake years ago. I believe it was with Reggie McKenzie and Dennis Allen. Well, nonetheless, he got a very veteran general manager. And it's not often you get to hire a general manager that's got that kind of a track record, at least evaluating personnel that you're going to draft. And he hit on a lot of players with the Chargers. So now we know why this was a priority to get Tom Telesco in the building. And it looks like it's got a lot to do with the draft and how aggressive they want to be in the draft. Now, why do they want to be aggressive? And if you're a big fan of drafting a quarterback in the draft, some could say they already got one. But if you want one of these new guys, and by new guys, I'm talking Jayden Daniels, Drake Maye, Caleb Williams, well, it looks like the Raiders may end up making a very aggressive move. Now, I'm going to be honest. We've seen a lot of times this has not worked. This has not worked, but don't believe me. Look at the Niners. Look at the Redskins. A lot of people have tried this scenario. So I've got Raiders beat here, and we also have Antonio Pierce making some comments on Tom Telesco's hire. So Champ Kelly, Ed Dodds were considered the favorites to get the job for several weeks, but on Monday, Telesco returned to Las Vegas for a second interview and was informed that he had the job soon after. We don't know what changed the team's thinking on Kelly and Dodds' process, but we did get a hint on Tuesday that might explain why Telesco was hired for the job. JT the Brick is one of the best connected voices of the Raiders because of his position with the team and his relationship with Mark Davis. But he doesn't often use his platform to break news or share sensitive information. On Tuesday, as the news that was breaking that Telesco was expected to get the job, JT shared a piece of information that was not only relevant to the future of Raiders personnel departments, but might also impact the upcoming draft. Via his Raiders Nation radio show, these were comments on the team's mindset as they move towards hiring their next GM. Quote, clearly, trading up to get a quarterback, it's going to have to be aggressive. The Raiders are going to have to give up a lot. Wink, wink. That's why I think the GM who is announced, whoever it is going to have a plan to go get that quarterback. So in other words, and there's some thought that maybe the other two guys weren't willing to make that trade. That's a nice little secret I just gave you. I think it's very accurate. Whoever the GM is going to be probably had to prove in several interviews that he had the ability to go get a quarterback in the first round. That tells you a lot, okay, about not only the GM. He's a long-time veteran guy who obviously can put together a trade, and what their thought process may very well be going into the draft. Now, question is, I'm not a big fan, personally speaking, I'm not a big fan of these teams moving up because it almost never works. And then you're out all kinds of draft capital when you've got multiple holes on a team that need to be filled. So whether it's Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, or Jayden Daniels, no quarterback should be considered out of reach for the Raiders when the draft rolls around in April. And Mel Kiper did release, I believe, his first mock draft. He's got Jayden Daniels at 2 and Drake Maye at 3. So that's very interesting if you are a fan of, say, the Patriots or the Raiders, and you think they might get in on this. So both Telesco and Pierce said they felt a connection Monday when Pierce sat in on his interview. Pierce said he knows he and Telesco, who joins Las Vegas after spending the past 11 years as general manager of the AFC foe Chargers, aren't always going to agree, but they need each other and they will work together. This is silverandblackpride.com. Pierce said he was not making any promises, but he and Telesco are focused on winning the AFC West and then the Super Bowl. Quote, we're going to check egos and do it hand in hand. The always energetic Pierce said, if he goes down, I go down. That's not our plan. So, I mean, he's very aware if it doesn't work out with one, it's not going to work out with the other. Telesco said he mentioned in his first interview he always thought Pierce would be a coach because of the job he did leading the Raiders to a 5-4 record. So before he even interviewed, he very much suspected Antonio Pierce was going to get the job. Like Pierce, Telesco said it will be a partnership between the two of them. He said Pierce has a, quote, join me, not follow me leadership style that excites the new general manager. He galvanized the players and the fan base. That's a huge part of it. He's a grinder, and you can hang your hat on that as a head coach. So that's interesting. Now, this is where Paul Gutierrez of ESPN said that Mark Davis says Champ Kelly remains with the organization as assistant general manager, and he, quote, hopes Kelly stays. He said, I think he brings a lot to the organization. I have a lot of respect for him. So that tells you Champ didn't get the job, neither did Ed Dodds, because of a concern with the idea that they can put up a package to go get or be confident in a general manager to go get one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. I think that's interesting. I mean, I don't think you can move all. I think it's kind of obvious, I think now anyway, especially in light of Shane Waldron. I think the Bears are going to move off Justin Fields. So where that trade is going to end up being for him and to whom, I don't know. All right. But I think they're going to take Caleb. All right. And I still think Drake May's going too. And then Jayden Daniels, he's probably going to the Patriots. Now, I think the Patriots also are pretty confident that if Drake May's there, they're going to take Drake Maye. And a lot of people have Drake Maye in light of some of the attitude and reaction stuff that Caleb Williams had after games, and in light of some performances against top 25 defenses. There's a lot of draft pundits out there that have moved Drake Maye up to number 1. So I guess we'll have to see. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. That was a good tidbit. I mean, they hired him because they wanted an experienced GM for the draft, not a rookie. I don't blame them. That's a sound decision from the owner of the Raiders. What? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.